I have made and the impact it has had in my life, and somehow so far it's been good, so far so good. And because of that, they have certain expectations that I should do this and do that. Then when it comes to friends as well, there's that society begins to have certain expectations from you, that if eventually something then happens where you need help, it sounds foreign.
It's difficult to...
It's like, boomer, what's going on? Like, are you sure? And then there's the part of, oh, don't worry, you got this, you can do it. It's you, you're a strong woman. It's not I don't want to be a strong woman every time. I want to be a baby.
But the thing is, you're giving off the signals of, I don't need to be a baby girl. But then you need to be a baby girl.
I'm a girl. I saw something the other day on Instagram that I absolutely love. Someone was saying something. The person said, as a man, when you are nurturing, or maybe you're trying to handle a woman's nagging or being petty and everything, you're not just nurturing the woman that she is, you are nurturing the girl, the little girl that is inside of her. And I think that everybody has that. Like, we're not even for the men, there's this inner child that you need to consistently nurture.
Appeal to,
right? So while I am out there trying to make impact, trying to, touch lives and make money and make a name for myself, there's this part of me that wants to stay, breathe, binge watch K-drama, take ice cream.
I feel like K-drama is the reason for most of the problem of independent women. Because you guys live in like this fantasy land. You're not going out, you're watching K-drama. That's a problem, because...
But in K-dramas, the women are always... Okay, they're not always dependent on...
They're not always dependent. There's this illusion of perfectionism that happens with K-dramas that I really...
But there are two sides to
fantasy.
I don't think it's a fantasy, right? Because, okay, I'm a believer, right? Okay. I am not limited. I don't have limitations as to what is possible in my life.
Okay.
So, fantasy, quote unquote, is very achievable for me.
Hold on. The fantasy where you... See, why I tell you these K-dramas are quite ridiculous. Someone is seeing that they're going to fall somewhere, and then they go fall there, and then they move slowly, waiting for Prince Charming to... In Nigeria, the reality is that you will fall.
You hit your head.
Laugh at each other.
You hit your head.
That's it. So I think that...
But have they been saved before? Although I didn't fall in love with the person, but I mean...
What happened? The person didn't catch you.
No.
Anyways, now when we say women can do it all, do we mean capability, sustainability, or desire? Do you truly believe that women can do it all?
I mean, for humans, I feel like it all starts here. Okay. It depends on what you think you can even do, right? What can you do right here before even trying to bring it out to the world? Because if it's something that requires physical strength, you can always outsource that. Yeah. You can always outsource that. I believe in femininity. I believe in embracing your femininity and just being soft and letting people help you. That's something that I am constantly learning and having to embrace. So allow people help you. I remember asking for help recently. I needed someone to help me do it. I'm writing a book and I needed a cover, and I had to reach out to one of my amazing friends, and I had to... When I asked, he was like, oh, I like the fact that your voice was soft. I just had to say, please, no. Can you just help me? I mean, if I had gone, how far? Please, I need your help. Can you just do this? Maybe it would have been different, but I had to touch that part of me that could assess. So I feel women can do it all. It depends, but you can't do it all alone. We need people at all times. My independence stems from my ideology that God is my only source. So I don't depend on man, not women, parents, family members, whatever. It's just God. But then when you bring it down to the people around you, we are relational beings. We have people around us that we are always supposed to reach out to. They are there in our lives for a reason. I often look at life from the perspective of me being a main character. I watch a lot of movies.
So don't worry, it's understandable.
Right? And then I see myself as the main character, not in a bad way, but in my story, I'm the only person. And then every other person, they're there to assist me become everything that God has called me to be, or who I'm supposed to be. So leverage on that. Ask your friends for help. Sometimes it could be as, please help me pick up this thing from somewhere. Since sometimes we feel like we can
do everything.
Go like I don't even want to talk about it.
And these things will make you want to be everywhere at the same time. You're crazy. I remember one time I was putting an event together, and the fact that I was able to pull that through, I just said, no, you have superpowers. At some point, you're going to have to calm down.
Yeah.
Because there's this obsession with being perfect or doing things perfectly. And I think that's the reason a lot of independent women have, and when I say single, I don't mean just man single, friend single as well.
Yes, yes.
Because your friends don't know how to help you. Your friends don't know how to come in when you need them.
Yeah.
So most times they're like, oh, she's got it all together. And you get angry that they don't help you. While in truth, you don't make room for them to help you. So I understand that, while I also understand that independence can be quite a burden, because there are days when you just wake up and you're like, it would be so nice to not think about anything. It would be so nice to not have to do anything today, you know. And I need somebody to just figure out or do the thing. It's really nice. But most times, a lot of people have argued that with independence comes certain level of clarity. Clarity on your journey, clarity of purpose, clarity of assignment, you know, as in the case of a believer. Now, do you really think that independence has much more gain than it does have a lot of disadvantages to the woman?
It has a whole lot more gain. The benefits outweigh the disadvantages for me, right? Because I grew up in an environment where I saw women lose themselves out of the need and desire to be dependent on someone, right? And I saw that and I hated it so much. Absolutely. Because it limited you. You couldn't strive for greatness. You couldn't do so many things because somehow you just always wanted and just felt you needed something else to make you do that. And what that does is it instills a survival instinct in you. You always feel like you need someone else or something else to survive. When I broke out of that, right, where I'm like, do I always need my dad and my mom to come through for me to be able to do this?
That's the biggest realization
The
of your
minute
life.
your mindset starts changing, it opens doors for you. The possibilities that that's why I say in my mind there's nothing I can achieve. Whatever. The fact that I'm here today was not planned, but I have seen it before, right? So it's what independence does is, like you said, it's clarity. It's helping you know yourself first. Like, who is Boma? What is Boma? Right? And right now, it also makes it easier for me to know the kind of people I want in my space, right? I am very intentional about crafting the environments that I want to be in. Even my social media is highly curated to the kind of things I want to see because I don't want to be seeing what I don't want to see, right? And then the friends that I have in, and even a partner, right? Me being single is not because, oh, well, I mean, check out. I go to... But then again, I know what I am looking for. I mean, it can limit certain things, but like I said, the benefits outweigh the disadvantage. So it just makes you your own person, makes you understand yourself better, makes you love yourself better. Love yourself. That thing is it's something that people are lacking, right? A lot of people think they call self-love where there's, oh, I love myself, but can you look at your mirror and that's one thing. It's like, as 20-something-year-old, you wake up every day and everybody is doing crazy things. You go on Instagram and you are like, what's going on?
What is wrong with my
What is wrong with me? And you know that you are not lazy. You're actually hardworking. So the ability to love the journey and just choosing you at all times. But then when you find someone else that you eventually want in your space, and that's another thing. That's why I hear a lot that love is choice. So the fact that you've been able to choose yourself first makes it easier for you to choose someone else consistently. So I feel like it's even a plus.
Okay, but mine's wise, you guys. And let's see. Now, I've heard a lot. I have a personal experience, right? So this shouldn't come from me alone. It should come from you, of course, because we have you here spitting bars. Now, I'm of the opinion that, and a lot of other people that I have spoken with, of course, are of the opinion that every woman should at least live alone for at least 1 year in their life before making the choice of a partner or before making major decisions in their lives. What do you have to say about that? I feel like I already know what you have to say, but let's hear it.
Let me hear what you think I want to say.
No, just say it. No, you want to roll out.
I want you to say it. I want to see what vibe you think I've given.
Yes.
Yes, I would. I'm a firm believer of living alone. Alone. I mean, I've been living alone for the past... I can't remember, but it's been a while now. Immediately I finished uni, I just... Sorry, mommy, daddy. I have to go. Love you, but I have to go see what is out there. So I feel like staying with your parents, like, we love our parents, there's comfort. But if you want to be great, you have to, at certain points in your life, come out of your comfort zone. I believe living with your parents is too comfortable that when you now eventually even have a partner and then you're seeing your partner doing certain things and you can't do it, and it's because you've been so used to that comfort zone that you can't explore and see the world for yourself. So I am of the opinion that I don't even know why they keep making it a woman. Do you advise a man? If a man at 30 tells you that he's at home, won't you be? What's going on, sir? You don't have a life. So why is it somehow, why is the status quo different for women? Why do you think a woman should be at home up until a man comes in? Like, that's such a limiting. The world is large. I want to see it. I understand the whole getting principles. But another thing is, when living alone, you begin to find the principles that work for you, the values that you have that you want to entertain, and the habits you want to cultivate. Living alone, like I said, I don't know what to eat most morning. This time when I now marry, I need to say to my husband, morning food. I mean, I'll cook for you, but you understand that I don't eat often.
Certainly, you don't eat often.
Sorry,
we'll settle that one after. but I think I share in that perspective as well, and not calling out to younger people to just be rebellious and just move out of the. If you're a trust fund kid, stay there. Stay there,
But is it not the trustful kids that are supposed to go out?
You know why it stay there most times? Because they have something to fall back to. I remember when Otedola wrote his book, everyone was going haywire about some of the things that he revealed in the book, talking about how, it was his father that gave him the money. Some people, what people who don't have that kind of privilege go out to find. These kids have it inside of the home. All they need to do is just ask sometimes. And I really love what Copy is doing these days. You see her independence. And ever since she grew that independence, she understands faith better. She understands herself better. Because if you watch her videos, because I follow a lot of her videos, not just because she's a rich kid, because I think that her life is very practical, to be honest with you. In the last couple of years, there's been some level of change, very drastic change that you can see. She now wants more. She's not just sitting down and waiting to get married to or to get proposed to, or what have you. She's a rich kid. She understands what it means to have a lot, but she's still out there wanting more for herself, which is something she might never have wanted if she was still within the comforts of her parents. Because what are you going out there to find, really, as a matter of fact? So I think that there is a kind of, I say it all the time, a lot of people might not agree with it, but there is a level of comfort that becomes really destructive. Comfort in itself is it's not a place that you should be perpetually. And the love of your parents can also be very destructive sometimes.
True.
They love you to the point that they're jealous over you. Exactly. They love you to complacency, where you are not able to act without their guidance. Their guidance is very important, but a time will come in your life where you no longer have to live for you. You now have to start to live for others, which is why it's important for you to find a path for yourself. Because if you don't find a path for yourself, what are you teaching others, basically? So let's say, Boma,
you're dropping bars. Love it.
Okay, let's say that you're speaking to like a younger set of people and all of that, and you would encourage them, because it's a very bold move to leave the house in your 20s. Actually, very bold move, to be honest. 20s, before 20s. Ooh, I didn't even have that courage. 19. All right, so let's hear you. With finding purpose, with independence. I feel like have we left independence? No, we're still there. Okay, with independence and all of that.
With independence, right? Like I said earlier, it's a mindset, the ability that you don't want to depend on anybody at all for the person that you want to be and the person that God has called you to be. But then there's the part of realizing that on that journey, you also need people. So now it's not depending on them per se, it's you just allowing them come into your space. And then I like to talk about how one of my greatest skills or values is resilience. So resilience is something that I feel a lot of young people should have, because if you are stepping out into the world and trying to find out, trying to get the most out of it, life, it's not a straight path, right? It would keep throwing to just see how much you can handle. It's testing your capacity. It's saying, can you handle this? Can you do this? Like right now, I'm in a place where I just have to sit, breathe, and say, okay, what is the best way out of this, right? I look at top CEOs and people in their in business and everything, and you hear a lot of their stories, right? Even the people that come out of trust fund, quote unquote, right? They've had to
push for independence. You know, some of them crave independence, like identity.
Exactly. And they have this, but somehow they also want a name for themselves, right? I saw this whole thing on Instagram lately with Timmy.
Timmy Todola.
Todola, yes.
Now Ajibade.
Exactly. When she posted that, and there was a stare and everything, and somebody made a very lovely opinion on that, where it was like, it's a choice. So your independence is actually a choice. It's a choice to choose you and find out how much of you can come out. But when you feel overwhelmed, ask for help. Absolutely. Yeah, right. There's so much for your person. We all have a purpose. We're all made for something. We all have something inside of us. I read a scripture recently that talked about how the smallness that we feel is inside of us, right? So there's so much that we can see. There's so much you can see as a young lady. And right, there are limitations right now that thankfully so many feminists are fighting to give you that ability. Exactly, that was the thing I saw where he said feminism is choice. So everybody fighting for other things that you've made it, you've blown it out of proportion. This is a choice. You choosing where you feel like it's best for you based on what you've seen. But ask for advice because your perspective is also limited. Ask for help. Absolutely. Reach out to people that have probably gone ahead. I do that a lot. Some people are like, Boma, you've come again. I'm sorry. I need
don't
to
get
know.
tired.
I don't get tired. I will come to you. I'm building something. I have a dream. I have a vision of becoming something great. And I have to
It's giving Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. All right, so good to have you. So good to have you here on the show. And yes, guys, it's super important that we put these things into consideration. Independence, finding your identity, carving a niche for yourself, and creating a path. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, the most important thing becomes what you are able to become and who you are through the process. Because one time I heard one of my leaders say something like, who you become is much more important than what you have. So he said, who you become is much more important than what you have. So in the process of creating wealth, who you become is the most important thing because who you become determines whether or not you can replicate that wealth wherever you go. So this is just a little something to everyone out there and every lady. Okay, you have something else.
Yeah, I want to add something. So there's one skill they teach leaders, right? Especially if you want to be something, in someone in society, there's a skill they teach in leadership that you always have to, what's the word? Where you have to let other people, right, outsource it, assign tasks, and then replicate
trust people to do
what they need to do, right? And then
leadership by multiplication.
Exactly. So you're multiplying yourself, right? And what this has to do with independence is that realizing that if this is what is required for leadership, you should also know how to outsource tasks. Like
absolutely,
just give other people.
Do it all alone.
You can't do it alone.
Absolutely.
You are not. There's so much that you need to become. Allow people. People also want to be great. People are learning from you. This week alone, I've gotten a lot of, you inspire me, and I'm like, what am I doing that I'm inspiring you? But because I'm choosing me. It's giving people the ability or the space to be able to choose themselves as well. So yeah.
All right, this is where we draw the curtain for today. It's been an amazing time having you here on the show.
I'm so excited.
Will you come again?
I will. Will you have me?
Definitely. All right, guys, this is where we draw the curtain. Thank you so much for being a part of the program today, from Monday up until Wednesday. And we are midweek tomorrow, one leg into the Fridays, which I absolutely love. Right. Remember, you can follow us across social media platforms at Rapid TV on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, which is now X, and on TikTok as well. Then on YouTube, our programs stream live, or you can do a rewatch at official Rapid TV. Remember, you can take us with you literally everywhere you go because we have a website, www.rbnradiotv.com. My name is Martha Alu. See you tomorrow.